Alright, so today we're gonna repack the bearings on my alternator. Alright, so this bearing right here, the front bearing and the rear bearing, we're gonna repack those. At this point I'm loosening all the hardware for the alternator, loosening the tensioner so I can take off the alternator. This is the 10mm bolt on top of the alternator. So when I disconnected the alternator, I discovered a problem. The pigtail that has 3 cables, they're pretty much damaged. One of the cables is completely severed and the other 2, they're on their way out. Alright, now I'm removing the rear end cover. It has 3 small 8mm bolts. This is the voltage regulator. If you're doing this yourself, take your time. There's a lot of hardware. Keep a note on everything, unless you have the diagram like I do. And this is the voltage regulator. And it has the brushes inside that rubber orange piece. These brushes look good. I verify that the spring works. Brushes don't get jammed. I clean it up a little bit and I put it off to the side. These 4 screws surrounding the 4 rubber insulators are really tight. Take your time when you're taking them off, make sure you don't strip them. This screw right here, I actually ended up stripping it. You'll see when I put it back on, it won't screw in. Now removing the rectifier holder. Now time to unscrew the alternator frame. After you remove the hardware for the frame, it comes off very easy once you remove these rubber insulators. There's only 4 of them. This is the rear bearing, and this is the pulley to expose the shaft and so I can remove the rotor. Underneath the rotor you'll see the front bearing underneath a cover that is secured with 4 bolts. At this point, use a pick and try to take off the bearing cover so you can expose the inside of the bearing and so you can pack it with grease. Clean all the crud, scrape it off, wipe it off so you can reinstall it. Once you're done packing the bearing, go ahead and reinstall the cover and clean off the excess. Now I'm going to remove that cover to expose the front bearing. Oh, this bearing is bad. Alright, just open it up. Use the same method and gently try to pry open the cover using your picks. Same thing, scrape off the dirt, clean it off, repack, repeat. Alright, this one's packed. I'm gonna add a little more. Close it up. It's quiet now. Alright, what kind of bearing? 382 2RS RB Tech, China. This is the outer bearing. And the inner bearing, yep, B15-69-2RS SL. At this moment I'm cleaning the bearing and I install the rotor, and then I realized I forgot to put the cover on, so I take everything back out. Alright, now to install the two end frames, make sure those coils go through the outer frame and then install the insulators. Reinstall the rectifier holder and secure it. So in this moment you'll see me secure the 3 nuts to the rectifier holder by mistake. Don't do this. You're actually not supposed to do this. You're supposed to install the voltage regulator and then install the rear end cover and then install those 3 nuts that you saw me secure. So take those nuts back out if you installed them. At this moment I am finishing up and securing the voltage regulator, and then I start installing 4 of the screws on those coils, and then I discover that one of the threads on the coils is stripped, and I actually just left it and I sent it. Oh no, it's stripped. What the fuck? How did that strip? This is the part where I realized that I installed the rear end cover nuts incorrectly. So I take them off, I install the rear end cover, and then I secure the rear end cover with those 3 nuts. Done. Alright, so at this time I gotta use that socket, a bolt, and the nut so that I can push that bushing out so that I can reinstall the alternator without any issues. Alright, so at this point I am tightening the tensioner, secure the bolt to the alternator, secure the pigtail in the back, and reconnect the battery. And at the same time, why not, I check the oil and it's good, it's fresh, good to go. Let's start it up. After I start it up, I check for any crazy noises or any leaks, and we are good to go.